Hiya guys, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench. It's Sunday night, it's 10 o'clock, it's just gone 10 o'clock, and happy Sunday night to my lovely favourite beer, Bud Light, which I know a lot of you can't stand, but I like it very, very much. This video, as you can probably tell from the title, is not really much to do about modelling, but I will just start off with a couple of things. The King's Detail, or the Pontos detailing set that you had to order through King's Detailing, it looks like he's trustworthy and everything. I've had notification that it's been shipped. I've got a tracking number. It's coming to me in the UK through Parcel Force, so we may get customs on that, we shall see. But yeah, all looking good. If you saw my review of the Pontos detailing set, thank you for watching. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up or whatever if you did. A few people have asked, is this the full set? Now, when I've spoken to Kim, who's the main man at Pontos, I asked him that question and I got the impression from him that there was going to be a second set. So there's going to be this first set and then a second set. And I remember, I think I mentioned in the review, I was a little bit disappointed there's no degaussing cable in this set. You'd have thought they'd have put that in the first set because it's what you need to put on the hull. Once you've fitted everything that's in that set that's coming now, you don't really want to be messing with the hull. So, you know, we shall see. I've also got a Andrews 3D net hull holder thing on order. I reckon it can be adapted for other stuff as well. We'll have a look when it comes. But if you go over to the Norwegian modelling channel, the one that I mentioned in my last monthly update, you go on there. He's got a code on his site. If you go and subscribe to him, he's got a code. You can get 10% off. So go and have a look at that. So yeah, so basically that Pontos set is coming. Apparently, as I say, I lost my track a bit then. The second set apparently is coming as well. However, when I asked William at King's Detailing, he said if the first set is a success, then they'll do another set. So I don't know that if the second set is definite or not. It seems a little bit weird. If you look at the HMS Hood set, which has got like everything in it, you've got the Bismarck set, you've got the Enterprise set, you know, really full-on sets with detailing for the aircrafts and Bismarck and everything. But it seems that maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because, as I said, the Trumpeter photo etch is very good. And maybe it's very accurate, whatever, I don't know. So Kim obviously thought, what's the point in replacing it? But we shall see. As far as the Lancaster goes, I've had a few people not having a dig, or they've just mentioned the fact that, you know, when they watch my videos, it's like it's so slow that it's become painful to watch. So what I'm going to do now, I've got it over here. I'm going to get a load of work done on it, and I'm going to make up a video that's kind of more like other people do. So rather than having this sort of lengthy hour-long sort of gluing 10 pieces together description of how it's all going together, because we're now pretty much finished with the building, I'm going to sort of do some, you know, here's the canopy, here's this, boom, you know, sort of be like weeks of work in a 1 hour video, whatever. So I think what we'll do is do it that way, and I think that's going to be better for everyone. And also it means I can sort of, because when I'm painting it and stuff, you don't need to see me painting it and airbrushing it and that. You might want to see me do a bit of weathering and stuff, but it's going to be a hell of a lot of time painting it. I probably won't be able to do it indoors because it's so much, and you know, we'll have to see what happens. But that's my plan. And the other good news is, if you know I'm doing this sort of build in the background and I want to finish it before I put the video series out, I've nearly finished it. So it's all looking good, and it's a lovely model as well. So hopefully have that out for you within the next few days or next week or something. So we'll look forward to that. But anyway, this video is about a rant. Okay, I'm going to start off with a rant on something that's really annoying me. Then go into a couple of things that you might be interested to know about some companies that have done a few things to me and my mother as well. So I'll let you know about that forthwith. But my first point of my rant, and I think a lot of you will agree, some of you will disagree, whatever. I might put this as a no comments video. Fireworks. Why? They tell us we're in a cost of living crisis. Everybody's saying they can't decide whether to heat their house or eat because they're absolutely skint. So why, from the middle of October to like now and still going forward, probably another couple of days, are we having fireworks going off even in the effing daylight? I have people near me setting off fireworks this afternoon at about 3:30 in the pouring rain while it was daylight. Yeah. You know, really? And last night was the 5th of November, bonfire night, and they were still going off at 1:30 in the morning. Yes. And they weren't little, you know, they were like, you know, my neighbour that's behind me had his first lot of fireworks, because his kids are very young, had his first lots of fireworks. He came around yesterday, knocked on my door and said, you know, because of Jess and everything, just let you know, we're going to have some fireworks fairly early. They're not big ones, they're not big loud ones, but, you know, you might want to make sure you keep Jess in or whatever. You know, how respectful is that? Thank you very, very much. But why do people need to have these massive things that almost break your bloody windows going off at 1:30 in the morning? What's the matter with them? They're absolutely... I don't get it. I do not get the... I mean, I can understand. People might say they don't see the pleasure in me spending £100 on a plastic model kit, sitting here building it, making videos on it, and at the end of the day going, oh, no, nice. At the end of the day, I've got something to show for it. I've had hours and hours and hours of enjoyment. It's productive. It's good for the soul. It's good for the mind. And it's keeping me occupied and busy. So instead of sitting here going like, during lockdown and not knowing what to do, I was doing loads of modelling and making lots of videos. So, and I know a lot of you did the same, because a lot of you said to me, you enjoyed the lockdown. You enjoyed being shut in and sitting on your bench all the time. You know, what is wrong with people? I don't understand the mentality in spending a load of money on a load of fireworks that go boom. Wow. You know, everyone's talking about pollution, everyone's talking about the environment and all this, and they go and spend, it must be tens if not hundreds of pounds on these bloody explosive things that go off in the skies, scare everyone to death, piss everyone off for a couple of seconds of pleasure. I just don't get it. I wish they would ban the sale of private fireworks, or the private sale of fireworks. I just don't understand the reasoning behind it. And the bloody things are lethal, aren't they? Every year there's people getting hurt. So, and I went in that garden this morning, and I must have found 7. I think it was 6 or 7. Jess come in with one in her mouth. Oh my God, you know, bloody firework rocket tube. So yeah, the other one I really want to know about, what's going on with electricity? They're all telling us that we're going to have power cuts, and if we have a smart meter, we can get £100 back if we don't use electric between 4 and 7 p.m. or something. And yet they're also telling us to go and buy electric cars. So, can I just ask you this question? If you've got an electric car, fair play to you, okay? Fair play to you. I don't like them. I'm a petrol head. I like the sound of engines. I like internal combustion engines. By the by, I do recycling every week. I'm not promoting green anything. I try to use as little consumables as I can, as you know. I don't just use pipettes once and throw them away. I use them time and time and time again. You know, I am not abusing the environment, but I don't wish to buy an electric car, especially not buy an electric car that's charged by whatever other means of burning fuel there is. But, you know, what is the point in offering me £100 rebate to not use my cooker or my dishwasher between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m, whilst at the same time next door is charging an electric car? Can someone explain that to me? Because I don't get the logic. So are people with electric cars going to get fined because they can't charge their car when I can't have my... I mean, what is going on? Why are they telling us we're going to have blackouts because we don't have enough electricity? Please go and buy an electric car. I mean, if there's one sure way of overloading the grid, it's for a load more electric cars to come along. So, yeah, I just don't get it. Excuse me a second. I thought Jess was in the bin then, but she wasn't. Right. And the other one is gas. We all know that in the UK, I think it's probably all over the world, it's not just the UK, but we all know our fuel prices are going through the roof. Everything's like trebled overnight sort of thing. But I've just heard an article on the radio, on the talk radio on YouTube, I think it was Thursday. Apparently gas, like the gas we burn, not petrol in America, but gas in the UK, the gas that we burn is a third of the cost it was in August. Yeah. So what is going on? Apparently a barrel of oil has dropped through the floor, but the petrol pumps are still crazy. Why is diesel 24 pence a litre more expensive than petrol? It's because we don't make diesel in this country, apparently. And apparently we have tankers full of diesel offshore. And what they do, the people that own that tanker full of diesel, they keep it offshore and then let the price rise because we're getting low on supplies. And then when the price rises, they bring in and unload it and get the higher price for it. What the hell is going on? And I mean the standing charges. Standing charges for your bill have doubled or whatever. Why have they said it was to help bail out the companies that went bankrupt? Well, one of the biggest bailouts has just been bought out by Octopus Energy. So why are we still paying massive bloody standing charges for our electric? It's like, what is going on? Why are we paying a fortune for everything? And all we keep hearing is the price of the raw materials is coming down. Why are we paying a massive standing charge? Why? It's bloody ridiculous. So that's just my little rant, and that's the things that are really pissing me off at the moment. Something I want to talk about now is something that's affected my mother, and it's caused her a bit of an issue, actually. My mother is 82, and I'm not sure if her card came up for renewal or if she just had a letter or whatever, but John Lewis have cancelled her credit card. She has been devoted to John Lewis for as long as I can remember. She would go and buy food at John Lewis. She would buy her clothes from John Lewis. She told me when I first got, just get John Lewis pet insurance. What a load of crap that turned out to be. Started off at like £30 a month or whatever. And by the time she was 7 or 8, they wanted £120 a month for my dog's insurance. So I went elsewhere, Purely Pets I think it's called, and I've got the same cover. In fact, it's higher. It's a higher payout. And it's £35 a month. There you go. So, and John Lewis Pet Insurance is not John Lewis Pet Insurance. John Lewis sell their name to somebody to use it. So it's not John Lewis, it's someone else. But, I said to them, I think I made a video about it at the time, and I said to them, you're charging like 6 times more to insure my dog than I pay to insure my Mustang. And they're like, yeah, but your Mustang isn't going to fall ill and need help, is it? I said, well, it will if I crash it into a tree, It will if I'm doing 150 mile an hour down the road and drive it off a bridge. They're going to have to pay out £30,000 insurance. What are you ever going to pay out for my dog? So, but no, John Lewis have actually cancelled my mother's credit card. So she reapplied. She went into John Lewis 2 or 3 times. She's phoned them up. She's spoken to them. She's like, what the hell is going on? I have never been rejected anything in my life. That's what she says. So, what is going on? So I said to her, best thing to do is do an external credit check. Go to someone like Experian, do an external credit check and have a look. So she's had a look. She then found out that apparently John Lewis have now decided they are not going to issue credit cards to anyone over 70. I think that's ageist. I mean, it's not John Lewis, it's some other finance company. But it could be, I don't know, whoever, Royal Bank of Scotland, whatever. But they've decided they're not going to issue credit cards to anyone over 70. I think that is absolutely, totally and utter disgusting. Because she used her credit card and got points for this, that and the other, and then got tokens to go and use at Waitrose and this, that and the other. And that's all gone now. They've taken it away from her, and it's something she's been devoted to for years. She might even have used John Lewis funeral services, to arrange her bloody funeral. She loves John Lewis. Well, now she hates him. And apparently, she's told me today she's found out there are many, many people in the same boat, and there's lots of complaints going on in the papers about this. God only knows what happens if you've got like a £10,000 credit bill on your credit card. I don't know how they get that back from you. I really don't know. But yeah, that's disgusting. So I haven't got one, but if I had a John Lewis credit card, I would cancel it now. So, and I suggest you do the same, because when you get to 70, they're not going to give you a card anymore. So I say, F them. Here's one that got to me, right? These next two I'm going to talk about now, they're both covered considering insurance, and it got to me. Be very, very careful with Bike Shore. Bike Shore are part of Adrian Flux. Adrian Flux, when I was a youngster, were an amazing insurance company. You would phone them up, you would say, I've fitted some bigger wheels to my Mark 1 Escort. Oh, what have you fitted on there, mate? Oh, I fitted some 8x13s. Bloody hell, have you got the fiberglass or the aluminium bubble arches and blah, 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 blah. And you'd have a proper old chat about your car and what you'd done. These days, it's just like any other insurance company. I phoned up Bike Shore to insure my Harley. Now, my Harley hasn't been insured with anyone for just over 2 years. So I phoned up and I said, the reason I'm phoning you up is I haven't had insurance for 2 years. So apparently, if you go over 2 years, it lapses. If you don't have insurance for 2 years on a vehicle, no claims and everything's gone, it lapses. So the girl on the end of the phone said, let me have a look, and I gave her my details. Oh no, she said, no, you're fine, you're well within the 2 years. I said, no, I'm not. My insurance ran out like July 2020, and it's now, October 2022. No, she said, you've had cover with us, I can see it on here, so I can still give you your 4 years, no claims. I said, it won't be 4 years, it'll be 3 years. Oh no, she said, there's been a year in between, so you get 4 years. I said, no, it'd be 3 years, no claims. If I had insurance with you last year, which I didn't. She said, I can assure you, you had insurance with us last year. I said, well, I'm getting old, I'm getting forgetful, maybe I forgot, blah, 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 blah. So I ended up going with the insurance, because she gave me a great quote. Within 5 minutes of agreeing it and putting the phone down, I get an email, can you please send us proof of your no claims? So I phoned them back and I said, why are you asking me for proof of no claims? I've just done all this with this woman on the phone, and she has told, lucky I had her name, and she has told me that I was insured and I had this no claim. No, you haven't had no claims. Your insurance has lapsed. Your no claims has lapsed. So therefore what we need to do is cancel that policy and get you another policy. I said, no, stop there. What you need to do is cancel this policy and give me a full refund because you have missold me insurance. And if you don't do that, I am going to make you pay for it. Okay? Because I'm sure you record all your calls as you say. I've got the woman's name, I've got the time, I've got the policy number and everything. You have missold me insurance. You have broken the law. I specifically phoned you because I didn't have insurance. My insurance had lapsed and you have broken the law. So be very, very careful of what they tell you. If you know something for a fact or you think something and you're using Bike Shore, make sure you know what you're talking about. They missold me that insurance, I think, to get me a quote as low as they could to make me go with them rather than go with someone else. Yeah, and then at the end of it, come back and sting me and then say, oh, we can't cancel it, whatever. But they said, oh, what we'll have to do is do you another quote, but without any no claims, because your no claims is all gone now. I think that's disgusting. As it happens, I ended up going to, what's their name, Bennett's, and I put in on their website about the fact I have no claims, no claims, but I have this riding, this history of riding and all that, and I'm this age, and I passed my test this long ago, and I did have this many no claims, and blah, 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 blah. And it actually came out cheaper than Bike Shore. So bear that in mind. If you're a sort of, born again biker like me or whatever, then, make sure you're careful. And the other one, this is the last one now, eShore. I have car insurance with eShore. You may have as well if you're in the UK. And I have had multi-car insurance with eShore for 5 or 6 years. I've always had at least 4 or 5 cars, and they've all been insured with eShore. The Mustang was taken away from eShore and put onto A Plan because the guy I was speaking to on the phone, he asked me about modifications and he didn't understand what the hell I was talking about. So I just said, forget it, goodbye. I'm going somewhere else. I phoned them up. I've just got a GR Yaris, as some of you will know. I phoned them up to insure it. They no longer do mirrored no claims. They used to do mirrored no claims. So if you were the only named driver on all the vehicles on that policy, they would mirror your no claims because you can only drive one car at once. And if you're the only driver on it and there's no other named drivers, then, you could let other people drive it, but they'd only be third-party fire and theft anyway. So it doesn't matter what the value of the car is. But, they decided to stop. And the woman on the end of the phone said, we actually stopped doing multi-car insurance a couple of years ago and then reintroduced it earlier this year. Sorry, that's what they've done. And you didn't tell me. So there's me happily running along with my multi-car insurance policies with you, and you've just stopped it without telling me. Thanks for that. You've just lost a customer. So they've now lost 3 insurance policies on cars and my house insurance. So they can go like that. I phoned a pay plan who got my Mustang on cover. They've put me on with a great company that cover sort of sports, modified, whatever cars. And she said, they do a multi-car policy. They don't mirror your no claims, but they give you the same discount as you would have got if you had no claims. So, and basically any modifications you do or anything is done like for like. It's agreed value. You choose the place you go to get the card repaired. If the car's a write-off, you get the chance of buying the wreckage back. It's like old school. It's like an old-fashioned insurance company back again by the sound of it. So really happy with that. So I would recommend, if you have got a bit of a sports car or it's modified or American, whatever, A-Plan Thatcham. Don't just phone your local A-Plan because they'll be different. Phone A-Plan Thatcham, okay, and they will sort you out. They're really, really good. The girl I spoke to, I can't remember her name now. She did tell me what her name was and I've forgotten it. It was Emma? Chloe Hill, that was her name, Chloe Hill, that's right. And she was really lovely and really, really friendly and everything. And I got my insurance and I was happy. And it was a little bit more expensive than I thought eSure was going to be. But you see, that's something else that pisses me off with these insurance companies. I put into eSure for a quote and it came up with £287 or something. Okay, that was with 15 years no claims. I then put it on Compare the Market and it came up with 204. So there's a bit of a difference. And then when I phoned them up with no claims, it was 300. So work that one out. It's like when these insurance companies, they send you a renewal and they say, dear Mr. Bloggs, your renewal is coming up and this year it's going to be £225. And you think, well, last year it was only 160 quid. So you phone them up. Hang on a minute, so let me see what I can do. Yeah, we can do it for you for £172. Well, if you could do it for me for £172, why didn't you quote me £172 instead of 240 odd? Well, insurance things change, you know, by the day. Like, bollocks. It's bollocks. So, yeah, I'm really fed up with insurance companies. I'm fed up with everybody trying to rip me off. Everybody in every single corner. It seems like all the energy companies, everybody now, even our own bloody government is just ripping us off. And it's disgusting. Anyway, there endeth my rant. So I've had enough. Bye.